Welcome, surf fans, to the 8:05 post-show, part of the Wallex US Open of Surfing. Woo! What a day it was. The business is behind us. Now it's time to have some fun. Chris Cote here with Kaipo Guerrero and Mitchell Salazar, and I think we're going to be waiting quite some time for this young man, Kanoa Igarashi. He's only had to walk about 100 yards, but in every step, another fan wanting a picture and an autograph. And you know what? That's totally fine with us. We got all the time in the world. It's officially happy hour. So let's get into it. What a day. Challenger Series surfing, men and women. The waves stuck around throughout the entire contest today. We saw some amazing surfing, thrilling victories, upsetting defeats. Kaipo, you still have a lot of energy. I do too. And I thank the surfers in the water for providing us that stoke.
I mean, it was exciting, right? And it was exciting because a lot of waves are surfed. You got 4 surfers in each heat. We started with the women this morning, the round of 32, ended with the men. There was some moments, there were some seesaw battles out there. I love the tempo of today. A lot of waves to watch, a lot of waves to analyze. But now, going forward, we're going to be on head-to-head competition when we start all over again. But I thought today was just electric. I loved it, all of it.
And it was great from the jump, Mitchell. You know, we were looking at the conditions, wondering what was going to happen through the afternoon. Well, the surfers proved to all of us that they can ride anything. Super contestable all day long. Obviously, the wind came up, but they made the most of it. We saw huge scores all day long.
Yeah, and in real difficult conditions at the end, too. I thought that George Pitar's performance was easily one of the best we saw all day long. Real impressed by Jett Schilling earlier today, too. But how about Kanoa Igarashi? I haven't picked him to be the champion here at the end of the event, and I feel like he's kind of proving me wrong. It just seems like he's motivated to win here, his 3rd one at home, Chris.
Yeah, well, I think Kanoa might be getting close, so we can get a word with him. But continuing on in the conversation of just joyful surfing to watch, you mentioned Jett Schilling. I think we're going to take a look at the heat that Jett surfed in just a little bit here. But the women who started our day, I mean, you could tell Challenger Series surfing on the women's side of the draw has clicked into a new level.
Well, I mean, just the Challenger Series as a whole, we eliminate people from the first round, okay? So there's consequence to each and every heat. It's not like a championship tour event where you have that non-elimination round. You got to come out firing, and the talent pool, the depth, both on the men's and the women's side, is so impressive because, like I said, it was an exciting day, and there was some outstanding surfing, Mitchell.
Yeah, and it's pretty impressive that each heat is stacked up against each other, and I think the level playing field really evens itself out moving into the next rounds. Really looking forward to the head-to-head matchups, especially with some new waves on arrival.
Well, we did have to wait for greatness, but we got it. Kanoa Igarashi proving yet again he is the surfer to beat here in Huntington Beach. He is standing by on the glass now with Joe Trappell.
Thanks so much, Chris. Yeah, it's always great to sit next to Kanoa Igarashi, especially when we're at the south side of the Huntington Pier, a guy who's gone back-to-back in this event in the past. But what a heat that was, man. You had some big names against you. How did you get the win against such a solid crew?
I mean, we actually never sit next to each other. I think this is the first time you've ever interviewed me. So,
First off, I'm loving this.
Yeah, this is fun. I didn't even know what your question was, but yeah, it's nice to be here in Huntington. Obviously, we all know I grew up surfing this wave, and today was such a hard day. Obviously for competing just this afternoon with the glare and with the tide and with the wind, it makes it super tricky. But I felt like I got a little bit lucky, to be honest. I felt like I was sitting in a spot that I wasn't really comfortable at, but I just think the whole lineup was a little bit tricky today. So yeah, I mean, I felt like I had 20 minutes for a wave to come to me, and had 2 little double ups, and that's all it took. So I'm really happy, and my board's feeling great. I'm feeling really at home. I can't wait for the rest of the contest.
Yeah, you are home. This is special, Kanoa. I think there's one thing about you that we love. You're Mr. Clutch. You like pressure, but you also like carrying momentum for people behind you that want you to achieve a big goal. For you to go for another title out here, do you feel just like you did when you had the motivation to win your first one?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Just the U.S. Open is such a special event for me, and this week I'm really feeling that. Obviously, it's an event where I get to see a lot of people that I don't get to see the whole year. Obviously, I see my family, I see my friends, and then at the same time, I get to see a lot of my sponsors, and I see a lot of people that come together for this event. So, I had a really cool moment with the junior lifeguards this morning. We did a cool beach cleanup, and just little moments like that remind me of when I was a kid here at the U.S. Open. That really inspire me and motivate me. And Yeah, right now I just want to keep surfing, and you know, whether this contest was on or not, I'd be at home right now and I'd be surfing right now. So to have a jersey on and do it in front of my friends and family, it's extra special.
Well, hey, you're the local around here. Any recommendations? What should we do this afternoon in Huntington Beach?
Oh, this afternoon, it's such a beautiful day. Go on the pier, hang out. For me, I'm gonna hit the range. I need to hit a couple of balls. I haven't swung a club in a while, so I need to get the rust off a little bit and loosen up for tomorrow.
Awesome, Kanoa. Best of luck in the next round.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Joe. Great to have Joe Turpel on the glass. That guy's pretty good at this.
I mean, we're having a musical chairs afternoon right now, Chris. I mean,
It's
you're
been
there.
fun.
I'm rarely here in this seat. I
You
mean,
like
this
it
is
over
fun.
there? Well, it has been a really fun day of surfing, and with the glare, the tide, the wind. Wait for the buzzword, tricky. And it was tricky this afternoon, but surfers like Kanoa Igarashi and the surfers that found success out here this afternoon, they didn't go out there, you know, with depression because the waves were small. They went out there with aggression and with purpose to go out there and find two waves for meaningful scores. And one of those heats that was earlier on in the day, this is kind of right where things started to take a turn. Well, heat 3. So this was about midday, and you can tell, I mean, obviously way different conditions, but this was probably one of the most fun heats to watch for a lot of different reasons. Jett Schilling being the main reason that this heat was so entertaining, one of the best waves we saw of the day right here.
Jett Schilling flying down the line, and you know, with a name like Jett, he's going to go fast, and that's exactly what he did. Rebounding off of that, Mitchell. Solid performance from the surfer from San Clemente.
No, and then Mateo Sardia as well. This seemed like a freshie that he was riding underneath his feet. A JS that just looked incredible. A couple of sixes for him. Made it through in second place in a very competitive heat, but look at how good the waves were in that part of the afternoon as well. We talked about consistency. This kid hasn't had it so far this year. When it comes to a Cherokee beach break, especially with his aerial talent, I feel like Mateo Sardia could go all the way. He hasn't had a big performance in the Challenger Series so far this year, but he has great beach break talents moving through into the round of 16, Chris.
Yeah, and we will continue to say that every heat feels like a final. That's a cliche we can lean into all week long here at the U.S. Open. It was Jett Schilling for the win, Hardy second. We did lose last year's champion Ezekiel Lau and Ian Gouveia, who was absolutely ripping on the previous days of this contest. Well, that shows you the depth of the field that we have here at the Wallex U.S. Open of surfing. Every heat counts, every wave counts, every turn on every wave, everything counts in large amounts here at the U.S. Open.
It does, and you know what? It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. I mean, it takes a while, Mitchell. You know, you gotta have focus. I mean, for example, our top seeds for the women, they waited 5 days before they got into the water.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of crazy that we lost a few of them too. Alyssa Spencer went down, Vagine Fierro went down, and I'm really impressed with Sawyer Lindblad. She's actually my pick to win the championship here at the U.S. Open. It would be her first time, especially only being a teenager. Would be the biggest accomplishment of her career. But I think on the men's side, we saw some incredible performances. We saw some great consistency by a lot of the high seeds too, I feel, Chris.
Well, I'm glad you guys brought up the women because our spotlight heat for the Women's Challenger Series was another incredible matchup. This is Luana Silva and India Robinson putting on an absolute clinic. I think the standout surfer of the entire day was Luana Silva. She went out there and just seemed to get in this amazing cycle, getting any wave she wanted, doing anything she wanted on that wave. She played offense, she played defense, everything went her way. Pure style. I mean, everything was just perfect for Luana Silva.
Yeah, it was not so perfect. We saw earlier that Nanaho Suzuki with that interference on Luana Silva. Luana Silva, though, solid in her approach. A 6.93, 6-point ride, but India Robinson as well, Mitchell, she was able to tee it up. This is an important heat for her.
Yeah, and she is in qualification position too, and remember that win over on the Gold Coast. This is a necessary performance for her, at least securing herself a 9th place finish, but she looked very comfortable over there on the Pure Bowl rights. Many times competing here in the past, but look at the performance right there. That Pizel underneath her feet, looking great.
Yeah, I got the chance to talk to India Robinson really quickly after that heat. I said, what was that like watching Luana catch every single wave? She said it was a little frustrating, but it was also kind of cool because, you know, that let her get in the secondary cycle. So she was right there in the mix the whole time. We lost Sofia Medina as well as Suzuki with that interference. That's why she has a 0 next to her name, but learning experience for both of those young surfers in the lineup. And, you know, these long days where you have so many heats like that and so many standout moments, you know, I got to give full credit to our production crew that have been just picking the gems out of the files. There's probably 100 waves for them to choose from, for men and for women. So as we near our top 5, there's a couple things we got to get through first. I'm talking about the wave of the day, and here's a name that we're all familiar with as surf fans, your Nissan Cup Noodles wave of the day here from the Wallex US Open of Surfing. Can I get a drum roll, Kaipo?
Let's get a drum roll, because it was a great performance for Morgan Cibilic, putting down the hammer, Mitchell.
Yeah, former number 5 in the world, and you see right there his wave selection on point. Beautiful bottom turns and that sharp right looking lethal underneath his feet. Really like the performance he put on, and especially with the top 10 position on the line, Chris. Big moment right here.
Yeah, that was an 8.17, by the way. So that was an excellent score, excellent effort by the Novocastrian.
Yeah, I have a feeling somebody wants to get back on the championship tour, and surfing like that will get him there. Well, the rest of the week is looking good weather-wise. We think it's going to be sunny and beautiful all the way through till Sunday. So let's talk about the waves. Here is your official Surfline forecast. Mitch, I'm going to throw it over to you as a Southside Loke. Tell us what you're seeing here. What are these blobs meaning to the rest of us?
Well, you see that south-southwest swell that is developing in the South Pacific, and luckily for us, AM winds have been very light. The PM winds in the last few days have been very strong, and they will be increasing throughout these upcoming days as well. But with the swell coming from the south, it should be a very fun combo at the end. And as you can see right there, that swell's going to be arriving tomorrow afternoon. But today was really fun. Tomorrow's going to be even better. You see 3 to 5 foot faces. It will be a little sideshore in the morning, and then for Saturday and Sunday, just as fun. For 2 people being out there in the water, it's going to be a lot of waves, Chris.
But we have extended the broadcast 9 days straight, and I am happy to say that every day has had waves, and that just equates to happier surfers and happier viewers for sure. Everybody has been entertained throughout this entire event, and I like that we're going to continue to see waves in this size range for the rest of the contest. And, you know, speaking of good things coming, what about good things that have already happened? Rising Tides has been doing good things around the world for the future of women's surfing. Let's take a look at what Rising Tides did here in Huntington Beach to spread the stoke.
Huntington Beach, California. It's the 4th stop on the Challenger Series for the Wallex US Open of Surfing, presented by Pacifico. This is a really cool Rising Tides because it's entirely a US-based group of young women who are working to become the CT athletes that are going to be surfing with them today. Gabrielle O'Brien, who's already on the CT, Bella Kenworthy, Eve Wong, just to name a few of the women who are dedicating their time to make sure that the next generation feels supported. We are so lucky to have some amazing partners coming alongside us for Rising Tides. You have Pura Vida, Hogue, Sambazon, all of them fighting for the same thing we are, which is making sure that we raise the tides for these women, give them a path to compete and achieve their dreams. The under 18 girls who are getting a chance to surf with the women who are on the Challenger Series and on the CT. What do you have to do? What does the grind look like to get to the point where you can be a CT surfer?
When we look at, you know, someone who comes back as a mentor like Gabby Bryan, she's down here and she has participated herself in WSL Rising Tides before, and I think it's kind of nice that, you know, we're all here supporting each other, and she's coming up through the ranks, and now she's going to do the same what someone else had done for her.
Rising Tides here at Huntington was my first Rising Tides, and now I'm on the opposite end of it, and I'm here surfing with them. These girls are super talented, and it's a long road. It just starts with just practicing and eventually start doing the junior competitions, and I'm sure many of them will get junior world titles, and then they'll be on the Challenger, and then they'll be trying to take my job on the CT.
Such a cool experience to be on the USA surfing team. It takes a lot of hard work. Also doing good in competitions like NSSA and USA Prime. Yeah, it's a lot of hard training even when the waves are pretty small and stuff. Yeah, lots of dedication.
Here in Huntington Beach, California, it's all about the USA surfing and making sure that these girls who are at the very beginning of their competitive journey feel that support, feel that inspiration to know they can one day be on the championship tour, be on the Challenger Series, and get a chance to compete right here at Huntington Beach.
Competing for the USA team, like I started at NSSAs and then I moved up to Primes and now I'm here at the Challenger Series. My ultimate goal is to be on the tour.
Growing up, I surfed with girls like Carissa, who also came through the USA program and stuff, and I always looked up to them. So it's amazing to come back and sort of support and help inspire the next generation of surfer girls.
The girls took over the lineup, and with a smile on their faces, you could hear the laughter from the beach, everyone having a great time.
I actually get to surf with a lot of those girls I saw there, and I'm sure that after the Rising Tides experience, they're going to be just that much better. And one of the only times where it's encouraged to drop in on your favorite surfer. Rising Tides doing great things all over the world. And speaking of great things, it's my favorite part of the day. Your top 5 moments here from the Wallex US Open of Surfing presented by Pacifico. And we're going to get right into it. She was not lost at Leilani's. Leilani McGonagle went off in her heat, 7-3 and a 5-9. And then she came in here and casually won the commentator contest. Kaipo, what's up with Leilani? She is that good.
She's got a great talent. She's got great fundamentals. You can see this, the excitement for Leilani McGonagle. She's become pretty close to qualifying for the championship tour just a couple times. Maybe this is her year. She keeps on with surfing like this. It could very well be her year.
And ripping that watermelon surfboard, as Mitchell called it. Then let's head over to a powerful goofy footer, Jacob Wilcox. Let's get a comment from another powerful goofy footer, Mitchell Salazar.
I love the way he was able to surf these lefts with a lot of power, and that crucial heat for him, at least securing himself a 9th place finish here. But when he spoke to you during the post-heat interview, Chris, he was mentioning the consistency and just the fun that he's having on tour so far this year, and you can see it right there. He's loose, and he's letting loose here in HB.
Yeah, don't call him a wild card. He's had all of those. He wants to be a lock. Here we go. Sawyer Lindblad, one of San Clemente's finest, was tearing this place apart on every wave she surfed. I would say Sawyer has to be considered one of the main standouts on the women's side of the draw.
Mitchell, you take this away. These are your pick.
Well, yeah, I think she's going to go all the way, and you look at surfing like this, and that sub driver underneath her feet looking incredible from Mayhem.
Well, guess what, guys? You ever heard this one? There's something in the water in San Clemente. Well, sorry, but it's true. Cole Houshmand backs up all the expectations around him. Your current world #1 on the Challenger Series, doing world #1 things. This powerful goofy footer just looks like he's having more and more fun with every heat that he surfs. It's translating to big numbers.
We're looking for a nickname. Cole the Hammer Houshmand puts it up there. Not a ball peen, a sledgehammer with that powerful surfing.
It's got to be linebacker, I think.
Well, wave of the day and #1 performance of the day. Strong showing from Australia's Morgan Cibilic. You know, basically on the comeback path, I would say.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Morgan Cibilic, rock solid. You can see it in his surfing. Great wave selection. Great use of priority. Shows you why he ended up being his rookie year top 5 in the world.
Yeah, power surfing on top there with the last couple of numbers on our top 5. That was your top 5 of the day. And you know what? Before we go, there was a moment of zen that I think caught everybody a little bit off guard, but it became one of our favorite moments of the day. Yolanda Hopkins, who didn't get the heat win, but won the hearts and minds with this beautiful kata warm-up routine.
Check this out, Mitchell. Can you talk us through this?
Well, you can see right there, just trying to get everything warmed up and in focus, too. It's karate black belt for you and Yolanda Hopkins.
And you know what? If that's going to make me surf more like Yolanda Hopkins, I'm in, because she is an absolute ripper. Great form, too. So Yolanda Hopkins ending our day here on a positive note. But the good news is, surf fans, we get more of this. We're going to be right back here tomorrow. Best part of these Challenger Series events is no call. We pretty much know it's going to be on. The waves are coming. The surfers are coming back tomorrow morning. It's all about to happen here in Huntington Beach. Come right back to us tomorrow. First thing, 8 a.m. We'll be waiting for you.
Welcome again to another beautiful day in Southern California, the iconic Huntington Beach Pier at the Wallex US Open of Surfing. nice snap, and a huge finish there.
She's looking for the ramp as well. Gets the front three.
Strong carve.
Is this championship tour caliber surfing? I would say yes.
Nice connection on the backhand snap.
More round of 32 action, but we're going to flip it over to the men's side of the draw.
Morgs, strong carve.
Joel Vaughn going tail high.
Jett Schilling looking for the inside ramp, blows the fins.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast.